Hello, Algorators. Court is back in session. I'm Al Reynolds, and guess what? This is the Court of Public Opinion. I'll be serving as your judge, and you, the viewer, will be serving as the jury. As you know, the Court of Public Opinion is a place where you, the people's voice, will and can be heard. Be sure to hit that like button because we got some hot topics for you tonight. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, be sure to hit that share button. Turn on your notifications and drop down in those comments because as the jury, we want to make sure that we get to all of your concerns and questions as well. We got an all-star cast for you tonight as we continue to cover Diddy Do It series number 7. Please welcome my legal beagles for the evening. First up, we have Jay Carter, my entertainment attorney, fellow Wahoo. Welcome to the show, Jay Carter.
Hi, thank you for having me back. I love your audience. Hi, everyone.
All right, we have that fiery Shyne Turner, also a fellow Wahoo. Welcome back, Wahoo. Civil attorney Shyne Turner, welcome.
Thank you, Wahoo Wah. Hey, Algorators.
All right, next up we have our criminal defense attorney. Yes, we got one man here. Attorney Brian Ross, welcome to the Court of Public Opinion.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Oh, gosh, here we go. And last up, we have you know who it is, the one, the only injury attorney, Simone Redwine. Simone Redwine, welcome to the Court of Public Opinion.
Hey, y'all, it's Girl Is That Legal, your legal bestie. Ow.
All right, listen up, everybody. This is the most that we've had as far as lawyers on our show tonight. Be sure to pay attention, stay tuned, because we got a lot to break down. Court is now in session. All right, first up, one of my favorite gymnasts, Jordan Childs. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Jordan is in the Court of Public Opinion because she's filed a motion to reclaim her Olympic bronze medal. She wants it. She says she's earned it and she wants it. So now she's hired a legal team to get that Paris 2024 medal back. Attorney Jay Carter, talk to me about this because I didn't even know that gymnasts or athletes in the Olympics can go to court to get their medals. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Hi, thank you for having me back. Yes, Jordan, like any other gymnast or not just a gymnast, any athlete actually can contest their score. I think a couple of weeks ago when I was on, the first time we discussed that when she originally appealed, she appealed in this venue called the Court of Arbitration for Sports. So this is where you go if you want to appeal any part of your score, which in this case, she placed third for the bronze, but they wanted them to revert her score to the original score so that she would place fifth. So it's interesting that when they submitted actual evidence, video evidence, that she had submitted it within the 1 minute deadline, they still said, oh, well, thanks for the evidence, but we're not allowed to consider it. I've never heard of a court. Like, why are you calling yourself the Court of Arbitration for Sports if you're not going to hear evidence? Like, to me, it made no sense. They were like, they couldn't consider it. So they said, fine, you can't consider it. So now they are appealing to the Switzerland Supreme Court over this decision. And we'll see what happens. I feel like at the end of the day, she's still a gold medalist. She got a gold medal with her team. I think she deserves every medal she obviously should have. But like, if for some reason she doesn't get this bronze medal back, she's still a gold medalist. They can't.
Oh, Brian, Attorney Ross, help me out here. You know, these women, they crack me up sometimes. She's still a medalist.
She's still a gold medalist.
Attorney Brian Ross, help me out here. Step into the chat here. Doesn't she get paid based off of the medals that she wins? So this is very significant. It isn't whether she's good or great. It's about her pocket. It's about her bag. So if you take that bronze medal from her, you're reducing her endorsements. You're reducing the amount of money that she can make. Is this not true, Attorney Brian Ross?
Absolutely. We learned during this last Olympics that a lot of athletes get extra do-re-mi based upon whether they win gold, silver, or bronze. Holding that medal up on a box of Kellogg's cereal can garner millions of dollars. It's also about the respect, right? But her coach has to know the rules. Technically, he was 64 seconds late. If your motion is filed late, You can lose, and you can argue that, and that's what she's up against. I don't know how you get around it. I mean,
Well,
I don't know the rules of this.
Well, I just want to mention the way she gets around it is Simone Biles' Netflix series has actual footage in the documentary showing that she did it within the minute. So they're like, in the Netflix, they're going to show the Netflix series that's following Simone Biles. They actually recorded.
All right, so this is my question, and excuse me if I'm ignorant about this. Does the court that you filed these motions in, are they in the United States?
No, this is all overseas. Yeah.
And so everything, is it in the city? Is it in the country where the Olympics occur? If you want to, debate your time or whatever.
She's appealing in Switzerland because I have to assume that's the jurisdiction of the higher jurisdiction of the Court of Arbitration for Sports. There's a reason why she didn't arbitrarily pick Switzerland. They still have to have jurisdiction over the issue. So I have to assume their venue, like maybe where they're owned, is Switzerland. So this is why she's appealing to the Supreme Court there.
Got it. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm Team Jordan Childs. I don't know about you, algoritmers. If you're Team Jordan, throw something in that chat to support Jordan. I want her to get her medal because she deserves it. She and that team were very awesome during the Olympics 2024. Love watching women of color dominate gymnastics because we've always known it to be a realm where we didn't always dominate. I am definitely Team Jordan. Let's keep it moving. Wendy Williams and your guardian. Sure.
I was just going to the International Olympic Committee is located in Switzerland, so that's why she's suing there.
That makes sense.
Got it. Makes sense. All right. I thought you were asleep there for a minute, Miss Attorney Turner. You were shifting around, looking down all around. All right. I'm glad to see that you decided to wake up in my court, Attorney Turner. All right. Let's keep it going. Wendy Williams, guardian, and Wendy Williams, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. Sabrina Morrissey, we got our eye on you. However, she's finally stepped up. She's reportedly filed new complaints against A&E Network for that Lifetime documentary. Somebody's mic is on. Please mute your mic. We can hear you. Please mute your mic. Guys, please mute your mic. All right. She's saying that Wendy Williams was severely impaired during this documentary and that she was exploited. Sabrina is going on the record and she's suing Lifetime Entertainment Services, E1 Productions, Creature Films, and the executive producer, Mark Ford. Now, this is juicy. Shyne Turner, Attorney Turner, please tell me, what is this really all about?
So this case appears to be about Wendy Williams' capacity to enter into contracts and whether or not she had capacity to agree to or consent to be in these.
Okay, let's keep it going. I want to talk about now that how the number of people are speaking out. We learned on Wednesday that there were over 300 subpoenas, and we know 50 witnesses? Did we say 50 witnesses so far? Yes. So one of those witnesses have come forward. A male porn star is telling investigators that Diddy would allegedly watch him have sex with Cassie, and he also makes claims that Rick Ross and DJ Khaled are gay. He also says that he has been in the room with Diddy doing these sex acts with Cassie for 15 encounters, and he describes himself as a sex slave who caught herpes while participating in this freak off. Attorney Simone Redwine, jump in here and give us more details of what's going on in this case and what exactly does this mean? Is this testimony like this is bad? What does this male porn star sex slave's testimony means to the defense?
Sure. So this gentleman made this testimony actually in an interview for an unrelated offense that he was being charged with back in 2018. Okay. His name is Jonathan Odie is the name. I'm probably mispronouncing it a bit, but the gist of it was he's actually now deceased is my understanding. So that's suspicious. So it's not that this is a new person coming out. This is an old video this was 2018. This was before any of Cassie's allegations. And it is absolutely tracking both the allegations that Cassie has made, the allegations Lil Rod has made, and the ones that we have seen in the indictment. So It's unclear how exactly he passed away, but it's all extremely suspicious.
Attorney Jay Carter, what are your thoughts on this?
I didn't realize he passed away, but I do know the testimony was from 2018.
Correction.
For some reason,
he's still in jail. Someone is saying he's still in jail, Miami-Dade County. Okay, go ahead.
So he's not okay. So we can clear the record to say he has not passed away. He's just currently in prison. I'm assuming, Simone, he can still be called as a witness even though he's in prison if they want him to be a part of this 50.
Absolutely.
Okay, so him being in prison doesn't stop him from testifying. I mean, again, if he's testifying that he was right there in some of these
freak offs,
freak offs, sex parties, then his testimony is obviously very, very relevant. It should just be interesting how this all pans out. I mean, after a while, when everyone is kind of saying the same thing, you know, one or two times is a coincidence, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, when everybody's story looks exactly the same, you start to think, well, some of this has to be correct, which again, I think we talked about on Wednesday. Again, baby oil or lube is not illegal. Sex parties are not illegal. None of these things are illegal. It's when you take the consent away. Because if he's a porn star and he's being paid to kind of do this at some level, he was consenting to it. So I'm not worried about him because you were there because you wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. The issue you have is if Cassie is saying at some point, maybe at one point she was consenting and now all of a sudden she's not, that's when it becomes criminal. The problem I have in Cassie's situation in particular is when do you decide that she's a victim? Because at one point she's consensual, right? And I think some people are struggling with that. And it's not the popular opinion, but of course I'm always
hold on. Order in my court here. Order in my court. Attorney Ross, am I hearing what I'm hearing? Am I hearing what I'm hearing? I always thought that it doesn't matter if the woman had sex with you 20, 30, 40, 50 times.
No, that's true.
Hold on. Order in my court. When the woman says no more and you make it more, that's a crime.
It's not funny.
No, it is. That's a crime.
Excuse me, Attorney Carter, in my court, please, quiet.
Okay.
Shatan Turner, bring me back, please. Bring me back, please. And now, because what I'm hearing is from Jay Carter that she's side-eyeing Cassie because Cassie said, "Well, damn, I'm tired of getting poked in my booty. I'm tired.
Finally,
I don't want this anymore. I want out." And she couldn't get out. That's illegal.
Get out from back there.
That's illegal. Sorry. No means no. That's right. Young. No means no. All right, Attorney Turner, bring us back because I'm fired up.
Yeah.
I think you're mischaracterizing what my colleague said.
Oh, boo! Boo! Mute her too.
No means no. She agrees that no means no. What she's saying, though, is that because we're talking about a continuum of actions, Cassie does have a credibility problem. And so even though it's true that if she was up for it 49 times and then she wasn't on the 50th time, her failure to consent the 50th time does convert it into a crime. The problem is that when there's that much baby oil just swirling around and everybody's freaking everybody, it's not necessarily clear when the no is real and when the no is part of the game.
When did baby oil? Okay, hold on. Order in my court. Ladies, y'all are driving me nuts. When does baby oil impede your ability to know when to say no? I'm confused. Attorney Brian Ross, order in my court. Quiet. Attorney Brian Ross, bring some type of sense to all of this nonsense.
The first thing I want to do is renew my job application information to Attorney J. Esquire that I offered the other day. It was a brilliant scenario statement she made. I'm not going to back Attorney Shatan on her effort to clarify it. She knew exactly what she meant. Cassie was, I'm going to play Diddy's lawyer. He's entitled to it. There's a presumption of innocence in this country, and he's entitled to it, okay? Cassie, I'm sorry. You was flying around on jet airplanes. You was getting diamond rings. You were getting mink coats. You was hanging out with Tom Brady at the Met Gala. And all of a sudden now you want to stop. I'm not saying Diddy's a good guy. I'm not defending his character. What I'm saying is Where's the line drawn? And if we're going to put Jonathan Odie, the sex slave, on the stand, really? This is what we're going to listen to? Okay, Mr. Odie, let me ask you a question. What's your career? Okay, the conversation's over. All right? I don't want to hear it. So that witness is nullified. He's in jail for some felony conviction. He's not a credible individual. Not worried about him one bit.
So
as far as baby oil goes, hey, man. I don't know why you got 1,000 bottles of baby oil, man.
Let's move this. Let's just move this right along. Let's just move this right along here. I do understand the question in your head about why did she stay so long? It was 10 years. Why, she was trafficked. Like, that's what sex trafficking is, though. That's what sex trafficking is. That's what sex trafficking is. And we've got to exercise compassion for those who are caught in that cycle, regardless of what their motives are. That's just me as the judge. All right, next up, Diddy's long-term publicist reportedly quits. She's turned off her phone. She's turned off her emails. And she's no longer supporting him or representing him after 30 years of service. Attorney Shatan Turner, talk to us about this. Actually, tell me, because for me as a judge, a publicist, especially a celebrity publicist, you're supposed to make sure that that client's public relation image in the media is always clean. Therefore, you know everything that your client does because you have had to clean it up for 3 decades as it relates to Diddy. To me, this woman should go to jail. Talk to me, Shatan Turner, about the significance of his 30-year plus publicist resigning, turning off her phone and her emails. She can run, but she can't hide because she can technically still be subpoenaed, correct?
She can be subpoenaed. I mean, one thing we can all agree on is that for the past 6 months, she has failed at that job. His public image has been less than clean. It's been tarnished. It's been dirty. And she probably realized there's really nothing for her to do anymore. This is a sinking ship. It is the Titanic. And so she has jumped off. She's not answering her phone for the media because she probably has some loyalty to him. But there is no privilege. There's no publicist privilege. And so all the things she observed, all the things that he confided in her, and everything that was shared, right? There is no NDA that's going to protect him against her testifying about what she knew and when she knew it. And so she will be witness number 301.
Attorney Simone Redwine, help me out here because I'm still kind of like, this woman clearly knew who this man was. She had to. Is there any accountability or liability in her space of protecting that man and promoting him to the public as something else? Is there any responsibility there at all?
Well, we're dealing with a RICO. So in RICO, it's a criminal enterprise. So if she's not careful, and she very well may have stepped down out of concern that she would be wrapped into the criminal enterprise, because if she was doing things like assisting with tapes being destroyed, assisting with telling people the narratives that she wanted them to repeat that were in untrue narratives, then she could be wrapped up just like the rest. Just like
now, hold on, stay right there, Simone, because I think that's brilliant. I think because you and our brains are on the same wavelength. Because before, she's always been described as a part of Diddy's executive team. So as an executive team member, we know that means that she's in the decision maker. She's in the room, the small number of people in that room to make decisions for the enterprise. So if that's the case, it makes perfect sense that she would be resigning before all of this hits the fan, because if she's a part of the executive team, that means she was an advising executive to the enterprise, which is now RICO. Am I wrong in reading that?
You are correct. You are correct.
But it's too late. It's too late, right, Attorney Redwine? I mean, her culpability is what it is. Like, she's getting off the sinking ship because she doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. But we're talking about past acts that were committed by P. Diddy and allegedly by Bad Boy and his other enterprises. And so, like, it's done. Like, her goose is cooked. So right now, she's minimizing what she has to deal with. She's probably spending a lot of time, in the prayer closet and with her attorney.
That's right.
Well, that's Simone.
Definitely that prayer closet. I don't know. Some of these people, I don't know who they praying to, but I don't think it's my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Charlotte
He
Carey.
ain't with that foolishness.
Anyway,
But
they
Your
still have
Honor,
to prove. They still have to prove that it's a criminal enterprise. So I'm probably siding with Brian here. If it's not a criminal enterprise, it's not gonna matter. It's just like the YSL. They're having a hard time showing that a record label was this huge criminal enterprise that committed all these crimes. The minute you can show it wasn't really a criminal enterprise, this RICO part at least goes away. Now the sex trafficking, the transporting prostitutes, I don't know about all that, but the RICO part in terms of criminal enterprise, you still have to prove that Bad Boy Entertainment was a criminal enterprise. And I don't think they're going to have an easy time proving that.
And proving that.
Agreed.
All right, let's keep going. Charlamagne speaks out against Diddy. And like I shared in the chambers, I've never seen a celebrity at his level be so direct in outing a celebrity before. He said on Breakfast Club on yesterday, as when he was speaking out, I think we may have a clip or maybe not, that Diddy was addicted to booty. He said Diddy was addicted to women booty and man booty. That's outing somebody, isn't it? One of the largest urban talk platforms in the United States right now. He said he's addicted to booty.
He's stating it like an opinion. He's stating it like a fact.
Booty everywhere.
He's stating it like an opinion, though. I don't know if he was.
No. He said specifically. He said Diddy is a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was a power addict.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he was a sex addict and that he was addicted to booty.
Well, if he's saying it like facts, I hope that's something to support the facts.
I know algoritmors and viewers, jump down in that chat. Did I make that up? Did y'all hear the same thing? Jump down in that chat. Is that what he said? I heard that he was addicted to women booty and man booty, which makes sense. That's where the lube comes in. No?
Oh, my Lord. Back to
there's so many uses for lube that it's hard to be limiting to just booty, but yes, lube does come in.
I'm just following Attorney Simone Redwine's.
I'm just saying, just remember, do not put it in your vajigga. Don't put the Vaseline in your vajigga.
Never.
It'll feel like chicken pox down there. Trust me, I did it by accident.
Yeast infection invitation to put the lube down there.
Oh, okay. Let's keep going.
What is your question? Can we get to what the question?
My question?
Yes. What is your question?
No, it wasn't a question. I just had I have never seen such a large platform or anybody actually come to the table and say that he, participates in same-sex activity. So I was just wondering.
Charlamagne, though, maybe they went to a party together. Charlamagne talks about butt stuff all the time.
Charlamagne saying this because he witnessed it. Why is where is he?
Yeah, Charlamagne has a history. Charlamagne has a history himself. Charlamagne has a history himself. He has some things, and if you go back and listen to him, he has a lot of things he says too. So he got to be careful. Charlamagne better watch out how close he wants to get to this Diddy situation.
Yeah, because he can get sued for defamation and or his stuff can resurface. So he should probably
because he did have that sexual assault rape case back in the early 2000s.
Right, that he took a plea out. You said you researched it.
That he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. All right, Charlamagne, watch out, buddy. All right, next up we have Shyne.
Could avail himself of the Shannon Sharpe defense that we just learned about the hyperbole, because there have been so many allegations against Diddy, and it has had elements of same sex in addition to him just being an overall freak, that I think Charlamagne's going to be all right on the defamation thing, because he's just capitalizing on what's in the news and
what has been in the news. Okay, all right. We see she paid attention in torts. Simone was too busy at Miami down at the beach.
That's right. Oh yeah, I spent my whole life. That's what happens, guys, when you go to a top 10 school.
It wasn't even virtual then. And it wasn't even virtual.
I studied for my freshman year. I don't know, my 1 year. I don't know what happened the other two. I was down there playing with the NFL players. That was back when that was age appropriate. But
that
I grew
was
out
back
of that.
when what was that blog called?
Baller Alert.
Baller Alert.
Oh, you don't need to call Baller Alert. Back then, you just call me, and I'll be like, "Hold on, Clint Portis, Andrew James, they all down here. Come on, y'all."
Y'all crazy. All right, next up, and this one's serious to me. Shyne Barrow speaks out about being accused of, put in prison by Diddy when he said, "I told you from the beginning that I didn't shoot that person." And he put it on me, and I've had to serve the time. Attorney Brian Ross, what say you about Shyne being so vocal right now? And what does this mean to Diddy's defense?
Well, one thing about Shyne is it's one of the true success stories, isn't it? You have a young man who's born in Belize, goes to New York, becomes a rapper. He's the next one after Biggie is killed. Everyone's running around loving this guy. Then the thing happens. He goes to prison. I think he went to jail, and ladies, correct me, for 3 years for this.
8. It was like 8 around 8.
8 years he went. I heard this is an allegation that he got a bag of money for it from Diddy, but he said his life is ruined. He said his whole life was ruined. He goes back to Belize, runs for office, and now he's affecting the community there in some positive way. And they stick a camera in his face and ask him. He says, "This man ruined my life." So let me tell you,
10 years, and he was deported.
Wow.
He's deported.
Oh, that's why his press conference is abroad. Okay, gotcha.
And they said, "Well, you were at a party with him." He goes, "It was a charity event for impoverished children." There's a chance, and this is a deep one, that if Shyne wanted to speak to the authorities, because the RICO has a look back, right? LOK look back, that he could become involved and have a conversation with them. It's a small one. But if I was the prosecutor, I would not mind sending an investigator to Belize to have an interview with him if Shyne was willing to talk to us.
All right, let's go to you, Jay Carter. Let's go to you, Jay Carter, because you are one of the attorneys on the panel that's saying that this enterprise thing, you're not so convinced. What is it going to take for you?
They said they can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, because this is not civil court. This is criminal court. So you got to prove each charge by, beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm not saying they don't have anything. I'm just saying, can you prove it beyond a reasonable doubt? Now, if we want to go down the rabbit hole of it is a criminal enterprise, Attorney Ross is correct. If I'm a prosecutor, I am going to interview someone like Shyne to see if he would be willing to testify, or I would subpoena him, because what happened back then is evidence that it's a criminal enterprise. They're working together in this label to have their artists take falls for shooting up clubs. That's a great example of this record label being more than just music, but is also a criminal enterprise.
Okay, talking about criminal enterprise, let's go to you, Simone Redwine. This Kim Porter's book is driving me crazy. Can someone please tell me, is it real? Is it not real? Are the accounts real or not real? They all sound like what everyone else is saying. Tell me what this Kim Porter book could possibly do or say in support of that criminal enterprise.
So it's still unclear. So apparently this book is allegedly supposed to talk about threesomes that they did, unspeakable violence, all exposed in this tell-all. Now I'm reading this here, so don't get mad at me for my eyes going to the side. So the new book accuses Diddy Combs of assaulting his late girlfriend, taping himself having sex with a male teenage pop star. So
who is that?
Name. Some people think it might be allegedly Mr. Bieber. Okay.
Oh,
sex parties with an Oscar winner, allegedly.
Who is that?
Jr. I think perhaps Cuba Gooding Jr., but it says the Oscar winner and his wife. I don't know if Cuba's been married. He's kind of strange.
He has.
Okay, then that could be it. Interestingly, it's only a 60-page book, so it's going to be pretty simple, kind of like Superhead's books back in the day. And it's called Kim's Lost Words, and it claims to be a collection of the diaries of Kim Porter, the mother of the kids, that died and who died of pneumonia, you guys, in 2018, and it's supposed to be leaked by her friends. Now, here's what I'm curious about. I want to know more about who's the alleged author and to what extent any of these monies are going to go to her daughters, to her minor kids, because Lord knows they need whatever they can get, because we cannot count on daddy at this point.
Wow. I'm just what I'm really concerned about here is there were whispers of this book years. It's been whispers of this book for years. It's been whispers of this USB. The thing that really stands out in my mind about this book is, should her case be reopened? Should her death, should her coronary report be reopened? Because I don't understand how someone who's married to a billionaire, very healthy young woman, all of a sudden catches pneumonia to the extent that it can't be treated, and all of a sudden passes. Am I the only one on this panel that there's
She
a
wasn't
question?
married. She's an ex-fiance.
No,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
they never got married, but I can tell you this. This is the thing. This is like a message for the algoriters. Infections in young, healthy women are often underdiagnosed. And what happens is they become septic, go to the bloodstream, and people die quickly. And so if you happen to go into the hospital and you're diagnosed with pneumonia or something like that, make sure that they run your white blood cell count, because if they don't, bad things can happen quickly. And because you're young and healthy, you'll be walking and talking and you'll look like you're not as sick as you are, and you can kind of fall off a cliff. And the reason I know that is because I happen to be one of the lucky ones. I had a septic infection when I was running for training for a marathon in 2009. But for the blood test, when it was done and resulted, I wouldn't be here today. And so I've always suspected that that's what happened to Kim Porter, if you think about it from the non-conspiracy theory. But there is a whole lot of people on the internet who agree with you, Al, who say something ain't right with the chitlins. And Kim Porter was killed because she was going to talk. That's what they be saying. Right. I'm not saying say that, but some people be saying that.
And allegedly the book actually, again, if these are her words, they said one of the last texts that she sent was, "He got me."
Oh, jeez.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that was one. Now, again, this is in the book that we don't even know if she actually wrote it, right? But let's go down the rabbit hole that she actually wrote it. That is in that copy of that book that's being published. Wow. That was one of her last texts.
Got it. All right, counselors, let's wrap this up. What I would like for us to do, take the next 5 minutes, I'm going to go to each of you, and I'm going to flip the script on you. I am now going to make you Diddy's attorney. And I want you to talk to me about, if you were Diddy's attorney, what would you be doing right now to get this man out of jail? All right, let's start with you first, criminal defense attorney, Brian Ross.
First thing, Your Honor, is that my client has an autoimmune deficiency that we're monitoring daily. I am allowed to have him medically supervised. The jail does not have the resources to do so. I want to hire a private doctor that is appointed by, or agreed upon by the government, to go in and check my client. I can assure you that doctor is going to find something over time.
All right, so this is what you would use in order to get him out of prison.
The way you're going to get him out of jail is medically. Yeah, the way you're going to get him out of jail is medically. They've already ruled legally they don't like him there. They want him there. So going back and asking that argument again, according to the second DCA, could be helpful.
Okay, so you're talking about hold on, attorney. I'm not talking about getting him bail. I'm talking about getting him off the charges.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Judge. I misunderstood your question. Okay, as far as charges go, listen, all these witnesses are bad. You and I and Simone have been saying this since January, but they're not credible people. They're all not credible people. They have the same drug addictions. They're on videos doing drugs. They're in rap videos dancing around scantily clad. They have felony convictions. They have biases because they need the money and have a reason to lie. So I'm going to tear their character apart. I'm going to go after all their reputations. I'm going to go after and I'm not sure what the motions in limine would allow, but I'm going to bring opinions if they're allowed to come in. I'm going to destroy people on the stand.
Got it. You know, one thing that you've alluded to, Jay Carter, is lack of direct evidence. What would be your argument in order to get Diddy off as not guilty?
Okay, so let's just do quickly all three charges, right? So let's start with the lower offense, transportation to transporting prostitutes. Okay, so that's the third charge. I would argue that I wasn't transporting prostitutes. I don't know how they got here. I don't know who organized how they got here. I didn't pay them. I would just create reasonable doubt around him specifically participating in transporting prostitutes. Okay, so that's the lower of the charges. The sex trafficking, I would say and I'm assuming Cassie is their main witness. Again, it's unclear when this became consensual versus non-consensual. So I would emphasize, at some point she was crossing state lines and willingly, right, having sex with people. And then to Shatan's point, at some point it became unwillingly. We don't know where the line starts and ends, Your Honor. So we can't prove this beyond a reasonable doubt, even if we can suspect at some point it became not consensual. So I would emphasize that if their main witness for the sex trafficking is Cassie, that her going across state lines, consensually doing this or not, we're just not sure. And then the third charge, the racketeering conspiracy, I would say again that, we're dancing in the music videos. I got a Grammy. I'm an artist. I got a Grammy. My client got a Grammy for his album last year. He didn't go to the award show because of the drama, but he got an award. This is a legitimate record label with legitimate artists, including my client, who just got a Grammy nomination for his Love album. This is nothing but a record label. There's no proof that this has been this ongoing criminal enterprise to plan and commit crimes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Attorney Brian Ross, please mute your mic, please. I'm hearing you drinking your water, or somebody, please mute your mic. All right, let's go to you, Shatan Turner. What would be your defense to get Diddy home and off the charges?
So it would be the opposite of his song Act Bad. That was probably not a good prelude. I'm going to go in reverse order, though. I think for the RICO charges, if I was his attorney, I would plead the sloppy defense, that there was no enterprise. We were not that organized. We were in the music business, as Attorney Jay Carter said, and our purpose was to make music and to promote that music. And anything to the contrary just is not true. And if there were some people who were under me who decided that they were going to get the come up doing some things that was not part of an organized enterprise, those were individuals who were frolicking and detouring and doing some other things while I was paying them. And you know what? I'm going to sue them and try to get my money back. The other thing, as it relates to the trafficking and like the assault charges, I think you have to attack the purported victims. And so this is it's a slippery slope for his attorneys, because you don't want to look slimy and you don't want to look like you're going after them. But if you can prove consent on the part of the people who engage in this behavior, then it also makes everything fall away. And so really, it's the freaky adult defense, right? Like, adults can consent to do things that you may not agree with, and you might not understand why we need all this baby oil, but that's how we roll, and that's what we're doing. And we might go through the back door, the side door. All of the doors are open to us, but everybody was down with it. And now,
oh my God.
Yeah, the only reason they're complaining is because they want to check. And they just got the FBI and the federal government involved for no reason. It just went awry, but everybody consented.
All right, Simone Redwine, what say you?
I think everyone really summarized my argument. It would be a components of each of those, particularly the freaky deaky defense. All the holes were open. Everyone consented. And why be a rapper if you can't get itches? If you can't get itches, why be a rapper? This is just the music industry. And if you are going to send me to prison for life, well, then we'll have no music industry.
Okay, so you know what I would say as a judge, I think there'd be a couple of things that I would do. I would lean my hat as a defense on reasonable doubt and burden of proof, right? Because that's where you can cause the biggest question mark. One would be no clear motive, right? I would argue that there's no clear rational motive for P. Diddy to engage in the alleged crimes. What is he going to get out of it? It's not illegal to be freaky, right? Other celebrities like him have done more to lose than gain from criminal behavior. I would stress that the allegations do not align with his personal and professional interests. It's okay to be a freak. It's okay to recruit people that want to be a freak with them. The other thing I would do is implausibility of the crime, as well as the high legal standard. But that's just me. All right, everybody, that's going to conclude tonight's show. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications as we cover more of Diddy Do It Part 8. next week. Have a great weekend, and court is now adjourned.